Ford Focus Manual Swap Part 6, Manual Transmission Installation. With the splash shield out, I went ahead and slid the transmission under from the driver's side of the vehicle. Fit right in here. I am going to utilize one of these mount bracket holes here, and then put the other end of the chain through the eyelet right there, and then lift it up with an engine crane. Just like that. Okay. While I'm raising it up, I am going to have to reach down there and keep it straight like this, and also make sure it doesn't hit the subframe there. I rotated the shop crane over to the left side of the car because the left leg was touching the support on the bottom of the engine, holding the engine up. So you may need to do the same. If you have a block of wood under the engine, just rotate the crane over. This is going very well. Very simple. Uh-oh, what was that? Made you look. All right, boys, I do have the transmission about the same height as the engine. So at this point, I'm just going to jiggle it around and try to get the input shaft splines to just push into the clutch. I did use some molybdenum disulfide grease on the splines to the input shaft to help it glide in. And I also put a light film on the throwout bearing as well, where it contacts the pressure plate. Once the splines are lined up in there, you can go ahead and line up where the dowel pins go. Do you see the dowel pin where I'm pointing at there? There you go. Just tighten down where that is. Once again, utilize dowel pins. Once they're slid into where they go on the case, that means that the transmission's aligned. And likewise on the front. Okay. There is a bolt right in the middle of the camera, bell housing bolt right there. That is where another dowel pin is at. What I'm doing here is I got both of them started, and I'm working them in little by little on each side to evenly pull the transmission on. If you hear any popping sounds or anything like that, stop, take it out, take it back off, and make sure you didn't damage anything. But just if it's this close, that means the clutch is in, and you just need to go ahead and snug these down. All right, boys, once the transmission is bolted up to the engine, I went ahead and came up here and put the top mount in. And then I came over here and popped the shifter cables into the bracket. And then connected them here in this manner. The red one goes right here. I am going to go ahead and go all the way around and go ahead and get the rest of the bell housing bolts in. So far, I've just reused the automatic bell housing bolts and they've been fine. I am going to go ahead and add the transmission fluid now before I forget. It should be about 2 quarts. That's where the plug is. Make sure your drain plug's tight. You never know. If you got it from the junkyard, it might be loose. There's the fill plug. It does appear that you can fill it with this large flexible funnel without the air box in there. It'll give you plenty of room to get down in there. However, I don't feel like cleaning this one out. So I bought this here. It is a fluid exchange pump. You fill it up and you pump it. And then on the end of the hose there, you've got some fittings that'll just pop right into the transmission. I'm going to use this fitting here. It just kind of hangs into that fill plug. I'm going to shut the line off until I'm ready for it to go into the transmission. This is like $37 on eBay. They're not too expensive. I'm going to take this off here and put the fluid in. This fluid here was about $11 a quart on Amazon for a Black Friday deal. So I'm going to dump these in here and put it in the transmission. I'm just pouring pure life into this jug. Okay. All right, I've got it sitting in there with the valve on it. Go ahead and just start the pumping until she's empty. I'm going to keep her around like 20 psi there. And once it gets low, you can lean it towards where the hose comes out so it picks up every little last bit. Almost done. Letting off the air here because it started pulling air through here. All right, all 2 quarts are in. Put the plug back in. Believe according to the shop manual, it doesn't come pouring out of here. It gets like a millimeter below the fill. 2 quarts has always been fine. All right, boys, I do need to go ahead and get the starter bolted up in there. Then I'm going to get that bottom mount and the bracket installed on the bottom. Then pop the axles in on both sides, and I'll see you then. I'm just going to edit that out because it's simple stuff and it's just like the removal. I will say, when you are putting the axles in, make sure you swap over your right-hand axle support over to the manual version that you recovered from the junkyard. They are different. This does hold the right axle in. Also, don't Don't put transmission fluid in until the axles are in. It comes out of the axle seals. If I may suggest so, I recommend getting new clutch hydraulic lines like I did here because, well, they're dirt cheap and they're known to come apart like this here. You do need to have the other part of this on here. Kind of looks like that. And it's got that seal on it too. This one's coming apart. And I couldn't find the other portions of it. It's likely fallen down on the ground somewhere. But these lines are dirt cheap. It's like $14 a piece, and there's 2 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on, shall we? Slide this new hose up under the shifter tower here. Just pop it on in here. Okay, there we go. It's under here, and now I can pop it in this thingy right here. Make sure the seal's still on there. You might want to put a little silicone grease on it. There we go, or that'll be fine. There we are. Pop the other one in up here into the back of the master cylinder. It required a little effort, but I heard it click into the master cylinder. Pop these 2 pieces together here. Okay. All right, guys, when you go to mount it up in here, pull this plastic piece off and you'll see the slot right there for this to go in. There you go. This line up here goes on top of this bracket on the body, and then you just slide this into there just like that. Okay, there you go. I'm about to swap over this master cylinder reservoir here. Once again, if you saw my last video, it is held on with a torque screw on the side and it pops out of grommets. I do have a turkey baster to suck out what I can, and I do have a certified drain pan underneath it, because when I go to pull it out, anything that I can't get out will start pouring out everywhere. Taking that Torx head out, don't strip this thing out, be careful. Get off of there. It's coming, it's coming. No, it's making a mess. Get out of there. I've got brake fluid all over my camera now. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get the manual one in here, make sure the seals are in good shape in there. Always inspect for debris. Wow, that's clean. It's on. I need a new camera now. Let's install the feed line for the master cylinder, shall we? Okay. The blue thing goes on the master cylinder, and the red thing goes on the nipple right here. She just clicked right on. Now I'm going to get this in here, and it should, in theory, click too. Yeah, baby. Woo! Now you can put some of that brake juice in there. Yeah, give me some of that juice. There we go. Uh-oh. What just fell in there? It was a small rock, all beet dipped. All right, boys, almost there. I am at the top, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put a drain pan underneath the front of the transmission. Let this son of a gun gravity bleed until it's steadily coming out in a stream. And then I'm going to go inside the cabin and pump the living crap out of the clutch pedal until it gets firm. To open the bleeder, you can go ahead and grab onto it here. Turn counterclockwise. There we go. And just wait. There she is, boys. I'm going to wait for that a little longer there. FYI, I did take an entire pint of brake fluid. Turn that counterclockwise till it clicked so that it's shut. And I'm going to go ahead and put this reservoir on and go in and pump the brake pedal. Reservoir cap, I'm sorry. Do-do-do-do. What do we have here? Is this car have a manual transmission in it now? Oh, stepped on a trim panel. Get out of here, you. Let's see what kind of pedal we can get now. Oh, it came back on its own. Just keep pumping the hell out of it. On the later video, I am going to show me cutting the brake pedal to size and putting that same size pad on the brake. Just keep pumping, just keep pumping. Cut. Okay, I'm not getting a clutch pedal. Make sure I've got enough fluid in here so it's high enough to go down that feed line. Should be. Yeah. Oh, worst case, you can get a pressure bleeder for like 75 bucks on Amazon or eBay. Get yourself a gallon of fluid to go in here so it's enough for it to pick up in there in the bottom. That'll definitely get it bled. Or you can try buddy bleeding. Get somebody in there to pump the clutch pedal and hold it. Crack that open down there, the bleeder. And then close it and have them pump again and hold it. And so on, just like if you're bleeding brakes. Oh, good news. I have somebody to help me bleed here. Okay. Hey, buddy. Hey, you want to help me bleed? You trying to bleed, fool? All right, guys, so I buddy bled by myself. What I did is I took a pry bar and pushed the clutch pedal all the way down, went out and cracked the bleeder open and closed it, pulled the pry bar out, pushed it back in, went out, cracked the bleeder, closed it when it was done, and did that a few times, and I have a clutch pedal. Still a little bit of take up in it, but the more I pump it, the better it gets. I don't really advise driving with a thick brake pedal like that in case you hit the brake when you're shifting, unless you've got tiny feet. I don't. So yes, I went ahead and put the battery tray and the battery in, and that ground for the reverse switch, I believe, I went ahead and J-hooked onto this transmission ground, which brings me to my next point that I need to bring up. This is a different ground strap. It came off the donor car. I do still need to connect it to the other end of the transmission up in here, but the ground strap is different from the automatic, and you need to swap that one over. All right, boys, I went ahead and finished up under the hood, and that was putting the airbox in, I believe. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Okay. She's alive, boys. She's alive. Hill Star Status not available. The brake light is on because of the emergency brake being applied. It does have the traction control light and engine light, which I believe is a loss of communication with the TCM code. However, it runs and drives. There's no reverse lights. There's a 3,500 mile per hour RPM limiter, but that's fine. It runs and drives. I will program all that at a later time. Stay tuned. Probably later this week I'll have that video out. All right. Bye-bye.